Evening all, and welcome to episode 59 of season 7 of Factory Town, where this one is going to be a little bit shorter than normal and a bit of a talky one. So, warning up front there, because there has been an update, a big update to the game, which changed a lot more than I thought it did. I don't normally play on the beta track at all, so I don't know what changes coming up other than what I read on Discord. I don't play the beta track because so much changes over time. It'd be very difficult to actually have a video series of that. So we're on the normal one, and obviously point 192 has updated, and yeah. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you to Prime Suspect and Grant Drake, who both pointed out this here fish oil that moves around can be done by pipes, can be done by fluid pipes. So I don't have to have all this here, so I can run fluid pipes underground to the barn. And then from the barn I can run them to these. And then same here, remedies can go from here to the barn, and from the barn go to these and these. It's going to make life a lot easier. However, oh, and another thing as well, and probably far more important, Grant Drake pointed out that population is becoming a bit of a problem. I wasn't even looking at population. I kept glancing up and checking my coins to make sure I wasn't doing that, and our red coins have severely dropped down. I think someone else pointed that out a few episodes ago. Sorry if I missed that, but yeah, that's an issue. You'll notice there's another bar here for this new research thing, so I'll get to that in a moment. But to build what I'm building here, which is the elixirs, to build all to gain 120 elixirs, which can feed the houses permanently, keeping the happiness trend up, requires 224 buildings. That's 224 populace. Now we can bring that down slightly. Obviously, farm stuff like that, you just put more populace in one building, so that's fine. And here we're using boosters, so that's okay. However, even if I was to cut that down to well, a lot of places we're dividing it by 4. So if I just took it and divided it by 3, because obviously some buildings can't be done, so we'll divide by 3. That's 81 people just to make elixirs, and there are 41 recipes needed. So I'd need over 3,000 people to get the 100%. So I need to change tactics on that, which is a little awkward. If I build, I can't build a house. We don't have any houses there. If I click a house here, and go to elixirs, which are here, something else as well that's happened. Bring that down here, bro. The consumption times and happiness durations have actually changed. So, yeah, those numbers have changed since this last patch. So again, that throws everything off that we were building. So that's the issue. Before, it was 50 seconds consumption times and 150 second happiness. Now it's 90 and 120. The difference between the two, and I think I've explained this before, but I'll go over it, is consumption time is they will get an elixir, they will drink it, and it takes 90 seconds for them to drink or consume that elixir. They will then remain happy from the start to 120 seconds. Not after the consumption time finishes, it's all in all. So they'll remain happy for an extra 30 seconds on top. So you've got a 30 seconds buffer to feed them another one before their happiness runs out. But what I could aim for is the happiness duration instead, which would bring my 120 required down to 60. Because before the consumption time was 60 seconds, so we did 120 to feed 100 houses, whereas now 100 houses at 120 seconds is only 60. Let me see if I've got that right. 100 divided by 120 times 60 is 50. Actually, we need 50. 50. I thought I had that written. Yeah, so we need 50 elixirs being produced. So we could do that, and that would cut down the population as well. But there's another tab here, if you've noticed. This is the update, which I should do a video on really. But there is this here. There is a happiness bonus now for tomes, because now you don't research things at the school. Let me pin that and we'll go over to the school. See, there's some things popped up here because I don't want to. Well, that's but whatever. I think this is the first time at school now. But the school is now a marketplace. You make books, you bring them to the school, they're sold to people, and the books that you sell to the people, the different types of books, give you different types of research. You see here, you have both different research. And the research, you now push R to bring up, and it requires everything. So industrial knowledge requires general research points and industrial research points. So I think you gain both for each one. So let's go, industrials here. So if you sell them like this specific book, you gain 10 industrial research knowledge. Whereas if you sell them just a normal book, you gain 10 standard knowledge. So you need to be selling them the different types as well as standard books in order to get your research points. And then you just spend the research points. Just click here to spend the research points. You see, we've got 2 new buildings where we've got a laboratory and a mage tower. I haven't even played with these yet. I don't know what they do. It's thrown in a lot of, these are the speed things here, but if I go down here, it doesn't give me what they are, but these would have all had different research things here. But I mean, the research I was fine with ignoring, because laboratory and the mage tower gives us the books. Because we're on an old map, our old book system still works. We can still make books the old-fashioned way. Here, this still works fine. He says, noticing it's all died. Counter book requires a book. Book requires paper. Oh yeah, because I took out the thing. But yeah, so this would still work because we're on an old map. If you go to a new map, I don't think the enchanters have the recipes anymore. They go in the mage tower, I believe is where it all moves to. But it's more this. It's more the fact that there is another happiness tab, which means we need to produce more happiness. We need to build more things to make people happier, which throws the whole thing off. Another thing that's obviously concerned me for a little while is the distance travelling, like the rail. By the time we pick up from here, go along, do its thing, come back over here, drop off over here, and come back again. That's going to be more than the time it takes to consume them, so we need to be delivering a lot of things in one go. So I've been kind of thinking, is this a good place to either restart, to call this one closed? We created some towns, we did some things, we tried to tack things on the end, but this research change really does affect the game in a much bigger way than I expected. So I don't know if that. I am happy to carry on as well, but if I am going to carry on, I am definitely going to change something. And if I was going to restart, I would change something as well. Rather than having the towns spread out the way I've done them, and I know we built some stuff up here and built some things over here, I would like to basically put all 5 towns in one area. Like we put a town here, then we put one north, east, west, and south. Or east, west, and south, sorry. East is that way. So they're all close together. So basically it becomes one giant town. Either that or you do 5 points of a star and have a gap in the middle for whatever's in the middle. That would the 5 points would work with a gap in the middle. I think that would work very well because then you could put building stuff in the centre that isn't that you're not using, like the knowledge stuff. A lot of the bookmaking could go all in the centre because now bookmaking, unfortunately, if I come here, is all knowledge. It's not magic anymore. I think enchanted book is still magic or knowledge. Book apparently doesn't have a thing, but all these books are knowledge, and obviously you only have 5 towns, so you don't get a knowledge town. So that's my question to you. What would you like to see? In my head, it makes more sense to restart because that would do fine. And I pick a map that's a bit flatter. Maybe we'll go with either whatever this. But I kind of like the going with the swampland, dark green. Just having a whole map full of that, so it's a bit flatter, so we can just build. Let's see what's going. Or as I said, we can carry on with this as it is if you want to. We can try and carry on with this and ignore the research. We don't need the new research because it's an old map. You don't actually have to do it. But then after a couple more weeks of doing this playthrough is going to be completely redundant to anyone because it doesn't include any of the new stuff that's come out, which I'm not really a great fan of doing. So that's a bit of an issue there. Or of course we could just try and tack on the current research and do things. It's just I wasn't prepared for there to be another research, another selling tab. So these don't actually sell for money. These just sell for, so nature research we get 50. Yeah, if we sell a standard book, which is a book and a herb, and this wants to make a book official. It requires the first tome, and then you need to add fish oil and remedies to it. And then this one you need to take the second tome and add health potions and antidotes to it. This requires a stamina spellbook. This requires a cure spellbook. Magic Roman Ward. Rail tire metal conveyor belt. Okay, so none of them require elixir, because that's still heavy. And of course the population thing is another one as well that's come along too. I would aim for, instead of aiming for the consumption time, which granted is lower anyway. So if I was to redo this, so 100 divided by 90 and then times 60 for a minute, means we need to make 66.6. So I'd say it's 70 instead of 120. So that already brings down the amount of buildings we have to make for it. So it brings the elixirs down to 12 instead of 20. So that would help with the populace. I don't know. There are obviously researches which do give you more things. Coin boosters is something else that's been added to the game, which I haven't even remotely explained. I need to look into this more. But you unlock coin boosters, and coin boosters can be added to buildings. I think this. That's still got a fire booster to it, but it doesn't have a steam booster to it anymore. We can't add a steam booster to it. So do the ones that have steam boosters still have? That was these ones. Yeah, you've still got steam boosters, but coin boosters are basically where you can spend coins on buildings. You can go, hey, I wanna increase this thing by using a certain amount, and it doesn't appear that you can now add steam boosters to buildings. Then there's not a button for it, so I don't quite know what steam power is used for. Again, it's an older map, so it sort of covers all the bases, whereas if you start a new map with a new version, it takes away certain things from you and changes stuff. I'm surprised steam boosters have gone, actually. That messes up this whole build anyway, because we were relying on steam boosters and fire boosters for it. But it's still the magic boosters. That's fine. This will go up to 3 rather than 2, and then I'd have to recalculate this all, and it's, oh dear. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think we should do? And I will take it from there. I don't mind carrying on and struggling through, but I'm just a little concerned about the gameplay becoming a bit obsolete, obviously with the new updates and nothing new being added to the game. Not covering the new stuff in this one, I'm saying here. So that is one of the perils of playing an early access game. Stuff changes. I like the changes. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about them, but stuff changes, which means that sometimes you get really deep into a game and you just kind of have to restart. But then restarting can also be fun because you have the knowledge you previously have. We now know how towns work. I could count the town size in tiles and figure out exactly where we want to plot out the new places to go with. So that's a thing. So, yeah, let me know what you think, and we shall take it from there in the future. So, yeah, bit of a short one, bit of a talking one. Sorry about that, but I don't know what to do. If I'm honest with you, I would like to restart, but I don't just do this for me. I do this for you as well. So and I'm happy you come along for the journey, and I don't just want to go and do something and you're like, oh, I was enjoying that. So let me know, and we'll take it from there. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.